Hello there, welcome back to my channel. My name's Louise and this is Louise's Lifestyle. Thank you for joining me. So today I'm just doing a little update on the mangoes that I'm trying to grow here in Manchester in the UK. I've got two types of mango, both are from Bangladesh. Fruit was imported from Bangladesh to the UK and I've extracted the seeds. And I've got here is a Amrupali. And this is what's called a monoembryonic type of mango. And over there, it's just emerging, is a Fazli mango, which is a polyembryonic. And I'll just put up on the screen some information about what poly and monoembryonic means. It saves me waffling on. If you just have a quick read about it, I'll leave that on screen there. And why I'm going to talk about polyembryonic is polyembryonic seeds in comparison to monoembryonic. Apparently, as I've been sort of Googling and researching on the internet and also checking out YouTubers who are growing polyembryonic mangoes, I have found that they are supposedly supposed to fruit a lot earlier than other seed-grown mangoes. So usually seed-grown mangoes take years before you can get them to produce fruit, and there's no guarantee that the fruit that the monoembryonic, say like this plant here, the Amrupali, there's no guarantee if that were to produce any fruit. It would take several years, and B, the fruit may not be the same as the parent plant. You might get a really horrible tasting mango, but and you'd have to wait many years for it. You know, it's not going to produce quickly from seed. However, what I've learned, one chap on the internet who is Indian, and I think he lives in Australia now. He did an interesting video on poly and monoembryonic seeds, and he grew a mango, a polyembryonic mango, and he got it to about 20 months and it had started to flower at 20 months, and I think at the 3-year mark it had actually got fruit on it. So he used to remove the fruit, so that's what you're supposed to do when they flower at a very young age. You remove the flowers in order for them to grow better. And so that sort of sparked my interest a little bit more, because the idea of waiting 8 or 9 years for your seedling mango to grow and flower, it is a bit of a daunting exercise. So I like the idea, you know, if it was possible that I could get a mango to flower and maybe produce tiny baby fruits, you know, within 3 years. That would be quite an achievement, I think. So I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but I just thought I'd mention that, you know, these are the differences between certain mangoes. So not all mangoes are poly, not all mangoes are mono, and I've got some seeds in here. I'll show you this. This is the Amrupali, and it's been in this jam jar for quite a few weeks now, and it's getting a decent taproot on it there, and it's only just started to put out its little leaf shoot there, and that will only produce one single stem. It won't produce multiples. Down there I've got this is a Fazli mango seed, and this is actually a polyembryonic, and it will produce more than one. It might just produce 2. Sometimes they produce, you know, 5 or 6 stems, and there's a stem that's starting to emerge. And if I just hold that to the light there, in the back to the left of this little shoot here, you can see this long raised area. Well, that has got another stem forming in there, and then it eventually will have its own root. You can see actually the beginnings of the root there. So, and the layers, they're like layers on top of this seed, and polyembryonic seeds are sort of like a jigsaw put together of different different seeds. So you've got several seeds sort of glued to each other, and eventually when they're planted in the ground, they will separate and they will, you know, become individual plants. But at the moment you can't see that. But I just thought it'd be interesting to show you, the viewers, that is how they start off. And not every single Fazli mango will be polyembryonic. That's another thing as well. So it's just one of those things. You just got to keep your eye out and hope that at least one out of this batch. So I've got four, one, two, three. Sorry, I've got one, two. Yeah, I've got 4 seeds, including that one over there, and I've got 3 of the Amrupali. And this one, this is an Amrupali. This is a mono, and you might be mistaken thinking, oh look, it's got a second stem. This one had a really bad start, and the main stem here is actually dying. You can see the tip there. There were leaves on there and they keep falling off, and that's the only leaf that stayed on. And it appears that the hormone that's used to help the new leaves be produced being interrupted by, this is the part that got damaged when it was stuck in between the seed. It was trapped in there, and so the hormones are now being sent to this part, and it's still attached to that stem. So this will be the new stem, and it's like a branch. So it's as if this tip had been cut. When you cut the tip of any growing plant, you will get like laterals or branches forming, and that's like a little branch. But eventually I think that will I'll just cut that off and allow these to grow on normally. But it's not producing any more, and it's only got the one root. That's the Amrupali, and I'm keeping that in water. That's kind of a little experiment that I'm doing. And yeah, so and another thing, mangoes aren't the only fruit that produce mangoes aren't the only fruit that can be polyembryonic. Citrus, there are some citrus, if you've ever planted citrus seeds, sometimes you'll notice some have got double, you know, they've got 2 stems coming from one seed. So it's true for citrus as well, and it's also, I just recently found out, it is true for the jamun fruit, Syzygium cumini. I didn't know that they were polyembryonic, and as soon as I found that out, I just noticed, these are my little Syzygium cumini that popped up over the last few days. So most of them just got single stems, but here at the back, this one, look down at the base, it's produced 3 stems. 2 are identical, they've just shot up, and then you've got this third one, looks a little bit weaker. And this is the thing with polyembryonic, what I've read about them is that when you get, say, multiples, maybe you get 3 or 4 or 6 even, you are supposed to discard the weakest, remove the weakest one, and allow the stronger looking ones, the ones that look identical to each other, allow those to grow. They will be the clones of the parent plants, and they will produce fruit if they reach fruiting age, whereas the weaker of the group will be a result of being cross-pollinated with another. It's been pollinated by another variety of, say, Syzygium cumuli. So it won't be, if it did produce fruit, it wouldn't be the same as the parent plant. And that's why people say, well, it'll be an inferior one. You know, you're better sticking with the clone. But then again, you might get a new variety. So I won't be discarding anything. You know, if they grow, they grow. You know, if they die off, then that's just nature, isn't it? So let me know what you think, folks, about the polyembryonic and monoembryonic seeds, and if you've got one that's growing like that, you know, if you've got a mango with multiple stems, how are you getting on with it, and what have you found? Do they grow very well, fast, or are they very slow growing? So thanks very much for watching, everyone. So take care. Bye bye.